Heiress Patricia Kluge. By the way, I looked up the pronunciation of that name all day long.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, you said that fairly confidently.
I did.
Yeah, what now?
By the way, the reason why she's making news is because she was married to a billionaire. But when she divorced, she was known as the woman who had the largest divorce settlement in American history, right? Now, things have changed since then. She got divorced, I believe it was in the 80s. But, you know, at that time, she was getting $1 million a year from her divorce settlement.
Oh, now that seems provincial.
I know. Now that seems like nothing, right? But on top of that, she also got a multi-million-dollar home. Like, he moved out of the home. She got to keep the estate.
Right.
Okay.
But I'm like amused by the idea of Tiger Woods' ex-wife, like, $1 million a year. And a multi-million-dollar home. Because what does she get? Like $10 million a month or something? I mean, some insane amount.
I know.
Right. Anyway, as I always make the case, $1 million a year, that'll do it. Right? That should be plenty.
That's a significant amount of money. Now, even though she was known as the woman who had the largest divorce settlement, she has just filed for bankruptcy. Now, when I originally read this story on Yahoo News, I thought to myself, God, I hate rich people. Like, what are you doing with your life? Really? You're getting $1 million a year for doing absolutely nothing, plus you have this multi-million-dollar mansion. You're doing well. What are you doing? Are you buying lavish purses? Why are you wasting your money, right?
I agree. And then what happened?
I read into her story, and I actually feel really bad for her, okay?
Wrong again, Bob.
No. Let me tell you what happened.
All right, go ahead.
So she was actually a businesswoman, okay? She opened up a winery. She had vineyards.
I continue to hate her, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a businesswoman. I've opened up a winery. My name is Patricia Kluge.
No. I'm going to defend her, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I despise women who just marry rich men, divorce, and then they live off their money for the rest of their lives, and then they don't work, right? But she was actually working. Like, this was a legitimate job, okay?
She was out there picking the grapes, stomping them, etc. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Maybe she wasn't picking the grapes and stomping it, which, by the way, she might have. We don't know that.
Sure.
But anyway, Forbes talked about how, you know, she opened up this winery, and it was very successful. She was selling, like, vintage wines. You're the worst. Like, he's already prejudged her. You got to be open-minded. Is he objective or no?
Okay, show the picture again. Come on, keep it real.
Okay, let me tell you.
How unbearable does that picture look?
Listen. I was on your side in the beginning, but then I read up on the facts.
Okay, so she's at the winery. Okay, yeah.
So she had the winery. It was very successful, right? So then she's like, oh my God, it's successful. Demand is high. I'm going to expand. So she decided to expand her winery, and it was on, you know, beautiful property, right? It's, you know, in wine country, gorgeous. So she's like, you know, maybe this is a good way to also develop real estate, so people can buy like villas on my.
She sounds so lovable.
In my vineyards. So she started building the you know, the villas and everything, and she took out loans to do that, right? And she's thinking it's going to be so successful, except the housing market crashes.
Yeah, great.
And she loses everything. Now she's bankrupt. But I don't get it. She was working towards something. Like it was an investment for her. Like it's not like.
Am I supposed to feel sympathy for a real estate speculator who got the money initially from a winery she started, from the divorce settlement she had from her, you know, incredible billionaire husband?
I guess my standards are low, but you hear about so many stories of women who have divorced, and when they do go bankrupt eventually, it's because they literally sit on their asses, they do nothing, and they spend it on stupid things like $5,000 facials. Okay.
Which, by the way,
it's not the kind of facials you guys are thinking about.
You know, you could get those free.
Don't listen to it.
Okay, anyway, by the way, you think she didn't get $5,000 facials? Look, show the picture again. Okay, trust me, she spent a lot of money on facials. Okay, and then, okay, look. The ironic thing is, I think she should have gone the other way. Nice poolside. Forget the, you know, winery. Just get some wine. Hire a couple of studs, you know, to give you back rubs and stuff, and facials. And then just enjoy the good life.